Majo John, Ned, and Juanito in my hotel room on the east side of Asheville, North Carolina. I've spent most of my life trying to cultivate higher consciousness, to be more aware, more in the present moment, more mindful. Studied with Thich Nhat Hanh for several years, one of the primary movers and shakers around mindfulness. But I don't know that it's such a good deal, because today I spent about 3 hours in a round trip to the Walmart on the east side of Asheville that had so much awareness that I couldn't take it. I just spent an hour mindlessly scrolling through YouTube, and when I shook myself at the end of it, I was totally unconscious. I said, "Why did you do that?" Well, because I had too much consciousness today. Here's my hotel. Beautiful lights. The Ingalls on the east side of Asheville is over there. And they've just moved me into a lovely room with a beautiful king-size bed. I spent 3 hours having way too much mindfulness. The bus took me to the Walmart on the east side of Asheville, where I adopted my beloved dog Pancho maybe 8 years ago. They say that there's no greater bond than that between a man and a dog he didn't intend to get. That was Pancho and me. And at the PetSmart in the Walmart Plaza, I adopted Pancho, I think 8 years ago. And we had so many adventures together, Pancho and I. Starting with her in her cage, way at the back of her cage, only staring at me, making no attempts to get me to adopt her, just looking at me. And I said, "Okay, I'm moving on. You're a Chihuahua. I don't like Chihuahuas. You look a little chubby. I don't like chubby dogs. I don't even think you're that cute. So stop looking at me. Stop looking at me." But she wouldn't. She wouldn't until finally I said out loud in the Walmart, "My doggie." And she became my dog that day. And I walked her around the parking lot that the bus went by. The bus went by all this coming from the Walmart. And the Walmart itself, I used to go to that Walmart to get one of my meds for my bipolar disorder, which was a totally wrongful diagnosis always. But there was Seroquel. Was cheaper there, and I would go there. I had so many judgments of Walmart people back in the day when us high consciousness people in Nashville thought the Walmart people were, I don't know, something not conscious. And I just spent 5 years traveling the U.S. and Mexico, staying in Walmart after Walmart after Walmart, probably 50 of them, because they had a strong Wi-Fi that I could pull up my camper van, and I could get my propane for my heater cheaper there. And they would let you stay overnight. But there I was at the Walmart going, I like these people a lot. And I went there to get some money that a friend sent me, a MoneyGram that I was only to be redeemed at Walmart. And I went there to get condoms and KY jelly, because I met a woman at the Ingalls over there about 3 days ago who we made such incredible contact. She was so open and I was so open. We touched each other a lot. And then I texted her and said, "You can't spend the night at my hotel room because I found out there's no pets allowed, and your service dog, your beautiful doggy can't stay here." And she wrote back and said, "I got a babysitter for my dog." So I got what usually would have been a lifetime supply of condoms. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Then the bus went to the VA hospital on the east side of Asheville, where one of the psychiatrists who treated me during those 30 years of being misdiagnosed, Dave Manley, was a really, really good guy, and left that job to go to the VA hospital. He may still be working there, I don't know. But I so much need to talk to him and say, you're such a great guy, but did it never occur to you to check, just consider that maybe the diagnosis was wrong? Because it was. It was. And on June 26, 2019, I woke up and shed all that and got off all the terrible meds. The other thing with that VA hospital, my buddy Monty Berman, 30-year best buddy, moved to Asheville maybe 12 years ago to be with me from Ithaca, New York. Sold his house at age 85, moved to Asheville to be with me. And one Saturday morning, I met up with him and he was very sick, very sick. But because I was supposed to drive to Louisville, Kentucky to see my son, who didn't even want me anymore, but I was trying hard to salvage that relationship, I didn't stay with Monty. I drove with him. We the little convoy to that west side, to that VA hospital on the east side of Asheville. He died that night. Never saw him again. I gave up. I betrayed my best buddy for my son. Makes sense, right? But he didn't even care about me, and Monty cared about me a lot. Haunting. So haunting. Before we got to the VA hospital, we went through the little river on the east side. There's a little river on the east side of Asheville that a year ago today, September 28th, threw off its boundaries and flooded that whole area. I saw buildings ravaged. I went by my friend Susie Davis, the turnoff to her house. There was dozens of times went up there. I wanted so many times to say, Susie, how did you do? Because I was in Mexico when that happened a year ago. How did you do? But she's not liking me much these days. Too intense. It was all too intense. All too intense. So why? Why do we want higher consciousness? Well, Carlos Castaneda, his teacher Don Juan, the Yaqui Indian sorcerer, said to him, when Don Juan said to him, why do I come here? I've got a great life up in the U.S. I'm selling books. I've got a terrific life. Why do I come back and let you torture me like this with all the things you put me through? And Don Juan said, once you've had a taste of the inner life, once you know what it's like to have higher consciousness, you can't stay away. And that's me too. I can't stay away. Even when it bludgeons me, even when it turns me into a mindless nothing who scrolls crazily on YouTube. I want it. I want it more than I want sex. I want it more than I want life itself. To be conscious. What? Why? Why? Just because, I guess. Okay. Ran out of things to say. Bye.